Hello. It's been quite some time since I put out any videos, mostly because we've just been doing other things. Life's busy, but I decided to take an opportunity to make a little bit of hot sauce. We've been making a lot of pickles. We've been canning and canning and canning since the garden's been producing a lot of cucumbers. But my hot pepper collection out of the garden, this is about all I've gotten as far as hot peppers. I've had a real problem with rabbits, and they've eaten my pepper plants. So I'm limited on the number of peppers I've got this year. I'm gonna have to go back to the farmer's market and do what I did last year and purchase blocks of peppers. I was running by a grocery store the other day and they had some of these habaneros, so I'm gonna do 1 bottle of habanero and 1 bottle of mixed peppers from the garden. I've got some, these are like a cayenne, and these are actually Trinidad scorpion peppers, so they're pretty hot, but I've only got 2, 4, 6, 8 of those. Then some yellows that are kind of a sweet pepper, and these are kind of about the same heat as a jalapeno. So I'm just gonna put them all into one brine. I kind of like the brine to work with for other things, so I'm going to be using a lot of brine. So there'll be very limited volume inside the jar for peppers. The rest of this is going to be brine, and I'm trying to work the brine for another reason. At any rate, should be kind of fun to play with. And then I've got a few tomatoes that came on one of our tomato plants that we kind of like eating the big beef eaters. So these ones I'm going to brine as well and use them as an additive to a sauce later on. So we'll just do that today, and I've got something else to show that was kind of a surprise at Father's Day this year. My wife had me in mind and had a friend of ours make this. I don't know if you can see it very well. Make an apron for me with this embroidered smiling pepper and the fermenting fool up on top, which I thought was pretty darn creative. Also had made several towels, so I don't mess up her towels, that are the fermenting fool emblem that she put on there, which I thought was pretty cool. I'm going to use over here. All right, these little containers are kind of cool. They actually have a cutting board on top. I probably won't ever use that for a cutting board, but it's there. All right, so I'm going to start processing these up. We're going to go to time lapse on the video, and we'll come back when I'm kind of closing everything up. Okay, that didn't take too long at all. I ended up with 4 different jars, but it's been so long since I fermented things. My wife put my weights and fermenting gas traps away somewhere. I don't know where she put them. So I'm gonna have to wait till she gets home to actually put my weights on and the actual breather on there. So I sterilized some regular lids and just put them on there. Won't hurt to start them that way, but you don't want to leave them that way. You'd have to burp them every day. That's too much trouble. So straight jalapenos, habaneros, and then tomatoes. And then this one was a mix. I decided to split my garden peppers. These ones have some of the wax and some of the green peppers in there, along with the scorpion peppers. That'll be hot. Those really, it's just even the smell of them. I was kind of trying to be very, very careful not to touch them once I'd cut them, and hopefully I didn't get too much on my fingers. And this one, I took my cayennes that I had, and a couple of little red peppers, and that and the big red one, and a couple of green ones, one yellow, and then added guajillo peppers, dried peppers, which are, they're just a chili pepper like you'd use to make chili Colorado. It is the pepper that gives the red to the color. I made some of this last year where I fermented some tomatoes with the guajillo peppers, and they were really good. Made a very light sauce, not hot, but very flavorful, and it's really good on things. And so I figured, well, you know what, let's make one with a little bit of heat and that same flavor profile, so kind of split it in half. That made a nice jar. So I'm looking forward to see what that comes out like. And then if we want to add more heat to it, the way to do that, use some of the brine from these hotter peppers, and that will bring the heat level up. So there's the use of the other brine. The other brines, what I've been able to do is once they're, you blended your peppers and brined them as much as you want for thickness, and then you set them aside. If you want to thin it out so they can get through a dropper, you've got enough brine to do so you don't have to use vinegar. The other thing that I've done with the brine is just to say, okay, I like to taste that brine, maybe add some secondary flavors or just spices that you do out of your cupboard to add something to it, or make a fresh sauce you're going to use for a meal with the brine, add some fresh garlic, cumin, whatever depends on the dish you're making, but add the flavors that you're looking for to the brine to make a sauce for that, and it has worked really well. So I've kept, I've probably still got close to a gallon of brine in my refrigerator from other batches that I've done that I use periodically to do things like that, and it comes out really good. So instead of using a soy sauce, you can take the brine and amend it with the flavors you want and put it over your Oriental dishes or your Thai dishes, and it works pretty good. So anyway, thanks for watching today. See you next time.